Okay. Um, I wanted to go over how I like to set up my base. And understand my base that I'm going to show you here is an end game base. So I have everything that is needed, uh, all the technology available, all the upgrades, and so I mean I have the whole works. So I'm just going to kind of walk through how I have my base set up. Starts with down here on the waterfront. Honestly, I like to have my base set up in the meadows, and the reason for that is because the monsters that come like during the night and things like that are not near as nasty as they are as if I'm in a different biome. So and don't get me wrong, I understand I can still get fullings and things like that coming in the meadows, but it doesn't happen near as often. So you can see my boat just off over there. I'm right here up against the waterfront. I even dug out a large area right here where I can actually pull the boat right up to the side of my wall there and throw heavy items just off the side of the boat right onto my shelf or my stone area. Okay, so I've got a few furnaces. And a smelter. I've got, well, a single furnace and a smelter here, and then I've got another single furnace and a smelter back here. No rhyme or reason why I have these two down lower than these two higher, but I mean, they still serve the purpose. You can see down here I have all kinds of goodies here and loot that it wants me to pick up. In a lot of cases, especially for like the smelters and such and the furnace, I'll throw the raw materials just down at the foot of where I need to put them in. So I've got coal. As you can see, I've already got this full of coal, and as I get black metal, I just come feed it and then walk away. You can see I've got some copper that's been smelted, some tin, same kind of thing here. The smelter is empty, so I pick up the tin, fill that right up, and then I'll just toss that tin out, the raw tin, and just throw it on the ground there. Pick up some coal, put the coal in here, more coal in here, and just as luck would have it, we have an event happening. A foul smell from the swamp. So this will be kind of fun because it will illustrate. Now you see I have a pet wolf up there on top. This whole hillside back here, I have wolves everywhere. And you can see there's another one up there. But as the smell from the swamp starts to come around, now I'm gonna have to fight this out. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see if we can not be invaded by something or somebody. Alright, so this is how I like to set up my base. As you can see here, I've got my longboat down here right along the water. I like to set up in the meadows because in the meadows you don't get near as many, big nasties that like to wander into your area, like trolls and things like that like to destroy your base. And I understand at night sometimes you can get some fullings and stuff and you just take care of those, but in the meadows it's a lot less damaging that way. You don't have to fix near as much. So I dug out this area right here next to right here on the shore, and built this wall here and this shelf, and start to build some of my heavy duty items on, where I can just pull the boat right up next to this and toss my heavy metals and things like that right out onto this shelf or this floor that I've built there. So here I have the blast furnace and the smelter, and understand everything I have here is all end game stuff. So I have everything there is to get in the game, and that's what you're seeing here. Another blast furnace and smelter here. Why I have these up on a second shelf, I don't really have a good answer for, but I have the parts and the any kind of resources needed that that these use. I just throw them on the ground right in front of the area there. It's easier than just trying to store them in a chest and then remembering what's there and trying to, just trying to keep it organized that way. Um, so I have some coal and, well, coal there. That's some iron that's been smelted. There's some copper scrap. So I'll pick up the iron that's been smelted. I can see I can see add item there. So let's pick up the tin and add it in. And there it goes on its way. Here's my, I don't know what you call this thing. My thing to make my eater, to process the eater into the glowing balls that make my magic work. I cannot think of what those are called right now, but we'll figure it out. As you can see up here, I have my kilns all up here on this riser, and I do that so that I can just go along the bottom of each. Let me go get some wood, and I can actually illustrate. Let me let's just get some wood here. Come back down here. So I can just pop wood in them like that. And then they'll just do their thing, Got 4 left, so let's give this one the last 4. And all the charcoal just falls down right here at the foot of it, and I can just run along and pick it all up. See if any of these, see this one could use some coal. Okay, so that's how that works. And at any time I want to, I can just go empty my wood into those, and life goes on, and those will just produce coal for as long as I need it. And I can just feed it as I need it. So here's our sleeping area here. You can see I've got all our beds all lined up here together up against this big fire. I like to have the beds, well, I have them like this because it's kind of cool, because when our heroes lay down on the bed, their feet kick up on top of this little wall. So it's just kind of a cool effect. In here, I have all the effects I need for comfort. As you can see up in that I have resting comfort 17, so I've maxed that out. Everything involved in that, of course, is this banner. The fire helps, the rug helps, the throne chair helps. There's another banner there. The armor stand helps. It does not have to be full of armor, but I have a full set of padded armor on it. And then right here behind it is our hot tub, our Christmas tree, and when I am allowed to make my maypole, actually I should have it, it's got to be back, it is back there somewhere. So, and then just for cool effect, I have Bone Mass's trophy up there on the wall, just because it's cool. But we can jump back here and see. Oh, see, now I'm in the hot tub. Ah, perfect. Oh, I also have this large, the large dragon bed, and it's unclaimed. Nobody sleeps here, but I have it because that also increases the resting and comfort level. That's how you get the max of 17. So, jumping up here. Now you saw down there as I picked up some items, some of the metal that have been smelted. I come right up to this is where I have all my workbenches and such laid out. And you can see they're all just right in a circular row here. So I can just go right up to it. I don't have anything to repair here, but I can just walk up to each one and repair whatever. Repair one item there, and then my last one, and just quick and easy. Everything is there. All the upgrades, you can see they're stuffed in there behind it and stuffed in every nook and cranny I can think of. There's a tool shelf up there. And then I have a shelf up here above all the benches with my chests in them. And as a habit, pretty much anything that uses that workbench level is stored above it. So for the basic workbench, I've got this chest, has all my stuff to make arrows and things. This one I keep all my wood in. And this one has it's got what? Flint, all my different leathers, bone, just various items like that. Here above the forge, here's my metals. So I can drop those metals in there that I picked up. Up there I have my black metal just because I needed more, was getting more metals. Right here I get all the items that are typically used on the forge, just right above it. Right up above here I have spillover items, so I just have extra items that I have too much of to keep in the one chest. But as you can see, I've got plenty of room up there to build more of those chests. Here above the black forge are my mistlin items. And this one's empty, just don't have anything in it. And then above my Galder table, here are things that I've gotten out of the mistlins. My Yggdrasil wood, the different things out of there. I have these skelly trophies in here because they are used to make one of the items in the staves. The dead razor uses those, so I go ahead and put the skelly trophies there. Also here it is, the refined eater. You can see, so all these items here are also from the mistlins. It looks like somebody's gone through and put some extra garbage in here. I'll have to clean that out later. But that's how I organize it. So it's all in a row. It's all under a roof. It's all lit up, so at nighttime you can still see without any problems. More chests here. This chest I have all our tools and stuff. I play with 5 or 6 other people on this world, so you can see all our excess tools and stuff are laid out here. I do use these, the headscarf and the tunic, because of the 20% stamina use reduction of each one when you're doing things like farming and stuff. It makes it so that your stamina doesn't get eaten up as fast. This second chest here is all our deprecated items, old armor, old weapons, things like that. It seems like every once in a while, when you die out in the middle of nowhere and it's hard to get back to it, it's good to at least have some basic armor and weapons to come back and pick up so that you don't have to run out there naked. Above that here, this chest here contains things that you typically get in the plains. And that's kind of stuff that's used for making different types of foods. The one next to it, it's the same thing. This one is from the mistlins, and again for making foods. I mean, you can see I'm getting over here towards the kitchen. All these chests above here are the same type of thing. There's carrots in that one. This one's items from the swamp. This has items from the mountains. I bring the Grey Dwarf eyes in here so that because those two are made to make ice cream. And then these are a lot of the basic items that you get from the plains. Obviously the yellow mushrooms you get from the forest, but but they just fit nice and neat there as well. 2 stone ovens. All the upgrades are around it and above it and hidden behind. Here's my cooking station. I've got 3 iron cooking station hooks, and I can run down the middle and back, just to pick up stuff that falls down just in case if I need to go and pick it up. And of course, here's my cauldron right here. The upgrades, you can see the pots and pans upgrades and things like that are hidden behind. And then my stack of chests right here. This stack of chests contains all my eater-based foods that you get largely from the Mistlands. And then the salad as well, but it also is made with mage cap, so that's why it's here too. So I've got lots of mage cap. This is full of mage cap, lots of mage cap up here in the middle here, a lot of my completed foods. So the chest above my cooking station, fish. So as we get fish, I don't do a lot of fishing because the foods you get with fish are really good high-end foods, but the time it takes to fish and get the fish to make those foods, just the cost benefit just isn't there. So, I mean, we do have fish, and you know how it is. You find fish lying around sometimes, and over time you just end up picking it up. And so I do have a chest for fish. Here is my chest, the Jotun puffs and the sap that I get, and I just keep those there. This is my high-end foods that have been made, have been cooked or completed, and I just have an assortment there. Most of them are very high-end. Some of them are in the mid-tier, like the deer stew and the sausages. I have those in there just to kind of burn through some materials. And I mean, if you've got the stuff there, then go ahead and make the food item out of it. Foods like this are good for when you're just doing a lot of maintenance around the base and you don't have to worry about combat, and so you just eat like some deer stew and some sausages and whatnot, just to mill around. You can see here I have 2 columns of food here filled up in my backpack. I normally don't do that. If I'm going out to adventure and fight and things like that, I'll have just 1 column. But I have 2 columns of food here because a lot of things I do tends to be stamina intensive, like gardening and building stuff and milling around and sorting things out. So I have a column's worth of these high-end foods. I guess that should be there. All of these 3 are the high-end foods for stamina, high-end stamina foods. These 3 are high-end eater foods, and that's what I use when I go to fight. All right, so moving along here, I have my fermenter. Oh, that looks like I've got some flour done. So let's go put the flour over here in my plains items type chest. Be nice if this fog would just not be there, but that's Valheim for you. The fermenter's there. Then I've got chests all along here. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to take a nap so that we have daylight again. See, my foot kicks up on the edge of that. It's kind of cool when you see like a whole row of Vikings there laying there and all their feet are kicked up on top of on the hearth. All right. Good morning, and it's still foggy, but at least we can start to see. I have all these more chests here. Let me not punch my chest. This lower in here, I've got a bunch of my potions that I've made. So I will, if I craft the potion materials, coming over into here and craft my mead base, the different meads, then I will store those meads here as well. And then as the potions get made, I store the potions here, and any of us that need whatever given potion we want, we can just go get them. This one I've got seeds. This one I've got my fishing rod, all my types of fishing bait. Look, I've done a lot of different fishing all over the place, and again, I've just come to the conclusion that the cost benefit in terms of time it just isn't worth it. I'd rather go kill a whole herd of loxes and come back and make lox meat pie. And yeah, it's not as good as your high-end fish wraps and things like that, but the time it takes to do it and make it and kill the units to get there, kill the animals, it's just a lot easier to make the lox meat. This one I have full of trophies. Looks like I've got one slot left. There we go. This one here I've been putting treasure in. I've spent a lot of our treasure because I go and buy chicken eggs from the trader so that I can have chickens. This one has all our flax and the linen thread. This right now just has a dragon egg in it. Here's my spinning wheel. And oh, and there was some wolf meat. Looks like one of my wolves died. Cartography table. And then the artisan table. So up above you can see I have my mills. I have 2 of them, and I'll just hop up here and I can come back here behind and fill the mills up with barley and just let them go. I do have a string of chests back here. I think somebody just made these largely to try and hide. See, look, that one's full of needle arrows, so they wanted to have some for themselves, which, you know, whatever. Come up here. Come on, get up there. My honey. See how I go about just doing stuff. Oh, look, and I found some iron. I was recently attacked. Well, you know, right at the beginning of this, there was an event, and oh, I've run out of room. That's okay though, because this will help me show you something else I've got going on. So I've collected my boar meat and my deer meat, but that's for a different reason. Got honey, so my honey's gonna go here. I'm just really obsessive compulsive about making sure everything gets in their right columns and stuff, but you know, you don't have to be. You can have yours a complete mess if you want. I don't really care. Smelter, I can add my scrap iron there. I might as well fill that up with the copper. Time to eat some more food. Let's just pop one of each. Okay. So that is basically the base. Oh, here's my obliterator, and I just keep this for just excess garbage. Like in a lot of cases, bone fragments are garbage. I mean, just the excess resin. I just have so much of it, so I just like to have a place just to kind of throw all that stuff. The butte berries, I usually throw it in there, but every once in a while I come in there and grab one and use it. Let me come down here real quick, show you my quick local garden here. Turnips and carrots is what I usually have in here. Turnip seeds and whatnot. And I just keep this in here and keep my, you know, keep rotating my foods in the garden. I'll come back to that in a little bit too. And and show you what else I've got going on. This in here is all our portals. These portals go all over the place. One I want to show you specifically is the M Garden. That stands for Mistlands Garden. I want to show you that portal so that you can see how I have that garden set up there. Turn on my wisp, and there you go. It's my mage cap garden. I make Jotun puffs here as well. Now you can see up there in my mini map, I have a bunch of places marked, and that is where I have all these extractors. And so at any given time, I can just come through here and just kind of run the route and collect all that sap as needed. So I'm not going to do it all now, but that gives you an idea of what that's all about. Okay, so that's the Mistlands Garden. My Plains Garden is through here, and it's, you know, kind of the same format. Any food that I have to grow in the plains gets, you know, I have to come out here to do it. Here's a bunch of my flax I've got going. Oh, and a lot of it just ripened right up. So all my barley, I've got onions, I've got onion seeds. I mean, so you can see it's takes me a little bit of time to go through all of this, pick it all, replant it, take the excess back home, and just, you know, keep the food coming in. Turn that wisp off. So anyway, that's what that's all about. What have I got here? Show you back behind the portal room. I've got all my chickens. Oh, eggs all over the place. So wow. There's eggs everywhere. I've never seen this many eggs as I've come in here, so this is a real treat for all the viewers. So you can see I have a bunch of chickens in here. So what happens and what you do is you go buy your first 2 or 3 eggs and you put them in a place like this, and then you get the fire going. And once the fire is going, then it makes the room warm, and the eggs will actually hatch into more chickens. And so we did that for a little while until we got this nice little flock of birds here that we have. And then I just let the fire go out. And if it is not warm, then the eggs won't hatch, and I can go in and you know, pick them up and use them for food. So I keep excess carrot seeds. I make lots of carrots for carrot seeds, and the chickens will eat the carrot seeds. The chickens will eat most seeds. There's just a few they won't. They won't eat like the acorns and stuff from the big forest trees, but most other most seeds they'll eat. So I'll just take and throw some out there, and they'll all scramble and start to go towards us. So I'll throw some more out here too. See, now the chickens are happy. Throw some over there. All those hearts means they're probably making more eggs. Throw some seeds over there just to spread them around. And throw some seeds over there. Okay. Pet them a little bit. Let them know that. Give them lots of love. Lots of love. They're squawking and everything. They're all having a great time now. Get out the door. Quickly close the door so they don't escape. And I always close my doors because Greylings invariably find a way to get in, and they are irritating once they're inside your base. Here I have the eggs I'm storing, so let's put those up in there. Okay. Let's go look at where my wolves are. So if you were to roam around the outskirts of my base, you will find we have pet wolves like all over the place. Like there's some up there, and there's like 5 or 6 up there. There's more over here. Another one here. Here's 3 or 4 there. And they're literally we have them all over the place. They're all over anywhere I go on this continent. I'm always running into them. And they are fantastic for keeping the wandering monsters at bay. So I go up here to my wolf farm, and you can see at the top I have a couple wolves trapped in here, and so I will give some food to that one. Oh, the food fell. I'm gonna have to go down and get that. Let's try this again. Okay. Hang on. Alright, reset. Throw the food there. There we go. So you have to get 2 different types of food. Oh, and they're like going to town. They're just eating it. I don't want them to eat it because I want to show you how my wolf farm works. But they were eating it, and they were already making new baby wolves. All right. We'll throw this one there. So, if you throw the same type of meat and they happen to just land too close to each other, the game converges them into one stack, and then you're only feeding one wolf. So as it is now, these 2 wolves, or these wolves here, there's actually the 3 you can see, and I fell off again. One more try. Alright, so we have our little wolf pen here. It's a pretty basic structure. It's on a high tower. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and repair it. So you can see the wolves down there are going crazy over something. What do they see? Oh, they're chasing that deer up there. So these wolves are trapped, so they'll eat, and then they will make wolf babies. The wolf babies fall down through these slots and come down to this wolf pen here. Now I used to have this all gated off, so the wolf pen just started stacking up with wolves, and eventually the wolves overflowed the walls because the wolves were stacked too high. It was kind of funny, and so wolves started spilling over, and eventually we just went ahead and opened up the pen because there wasn't any point into having them all trapped. And so now they walk around everywhere. So if we get like a skeleton surprise or any kind of surprise, these wolves that are all over everywhere they just go crazy and just destroy whatever comes in. I just did a skeleton surprise earlier today, or had a skeleton surprise, and I didn't fight one skelly. I barely even saw any, but I saw packs of wolves all over the mountainside going after different packs of skellies. So it was pretty cool to see. Okay, what else can I show you? I think that wraps it up. So that is my basic setup, and again, this is my end game base. You can see it's just very out in the open. I've built stuff like this, built end game bases like inside a structure, and tried to make a really cool castle and stuff. And at the end of the day, I just really, for functionality's sake, this type of format just works extremely well. And that's where we are with that. I do have a couple other portals just out here in random spots, and those were just for ease of access. This one goes to a swamp that we've been getting a lot of iron from still, and of course that portal will eventually go away just because we don't always have to have access to that swamp. But that's what we've got going on there. My stone and marble I always just throw on the ground right up here by the kilns. Again, just for an easy place to get it and store it, keep track of it. So that is the way that I keep the quality of life in my game going, and I will make more quality of life videos later. This was fun.